It is no secret that I like to run my cats fast as possible, and especially in choppy water, because that's where the boats that I like to drive are really perform very well. 1 foot, 2 foot of chop, man, I'm like a kid in a candy store, screaming down the lake. The most frequent question that I field online or on the lake is, Mac, what prop are you running? So hopefully you have paid attention thus far in the first 3 videos, and you know that it's more, boat performance is more than just the propeller. So thanks again for watching Mac McCullough Fishing, and hang on, we'll be back in a second. So this particular video is about this puppy right here, propellers. So the first thing we're going to talk about is some basic descriptions that people talk about when they take their propellers to a shop to have X done or to have that thing improved. And the first thing we're going to talk about is cupping. When the trailing edge of the blade is formed or cast with an edge curl away from the boat, it is said to have a cup. Originally, cupping was done to gain the same benefits as progressive pitch. These days, nearly all recreational and high-performance propellers contain some amount of cup. The next attribute that we discuss when discussing propellers is rake or rake angle. If the face of the blade is perpendicular to the propeller hub, then the propeller has 0 degrees of rake. If the blade slants back towards the end of the propeller, rake rate increases. With standard propellers, the rake angle varies from, say, a -5 to up to 20 degrees or more degrees of rake. Rake is either flat or it's curved. The next attribute of a prop we're going to discuss is pitch. Pitch is the distance that a propeller would move in one 360-degree revolution if it were moving through a soft solid. Imagine a screw in wood. In other words, a 24 pitch propeller moves through 24 inches of water. 25 pitch prop moves through 25 inches of water in one revolution, and so on. Propeller slip. That's not discussed very frequently. Slip is the delta or the difference between the actual travel in your propeller and the theoretical travel of your propeller from the necessary propeller blade angle or the rake, the angle of attack. I'll say it again. It is the delta between the actual and theoretical travel. That's what slip is, and it is important. I'm going to show you today. We're going to go out, we're going to run in the summer. We're going to go out and run, and we're going to calculate our theoretical travel, and then we're going to see the actual travel. I'm going to try my best to provide a close-up of my gauges so that you can actually see RPM, miles per hour, and maybe some of the other gauges on the dash with respect to engine height and water pressure. I'm also going to show you first how to calculate your slip percentage, and then I'm going to show you a cool little tool for propeller slip that is provided by Mercury Marine. So here we go. To calculate slip percentage, take your RPM and divide that by your gear ratio. Multiply that number by the pitch of your prop. Then divide that number by 1056. That will equal your theoretical speed. Next, go out and run the boat. Take your actual speed and divide that number by the theoretical speed you obtained previously. That number will equal your propeller efficiency or your percentage of slip. Okay, we've just made a decent run considering the air temperature, and it is summer. Nevertheless, let's enter in these numbers to calculate propeller slip. The first number we enter is 24 for propeller pitch. Gear ratio is 1.75 RPM. The RPM that we achieved was 6,013. Miles per hour was only 77, but it is what it is. And then we hit calculate propeller slip, and it tells us our slip is 1.38%. Don't know how to improve upon that slip number today. Not too bad. So here's our summary. When you hear my boat runs X miles per hour and spins X RPM, summer, winter, fall, and spring, it runs the same. It runs the same at 3,000 feet altitude as it does at sea level. It runs the same if I have one 250-pound guy as a co-angler and 10 of his rods and reels and a 50-pound bag, and it weighs this and it performs the same. What in the rain, when the boat is soaking wet. If you hear that, understanding everything that I've covered thus far, it is fair for you to say, I wave the BS flag, there's a flag on the play. Because that is physically impossible. It defies the laws of physics. Sometimes I can run 2 and 3 miles per hour faster than I can at other times. And that's just understanding the variables. And I have different propellers for different situations. Most guys do. I've got four different propellers here showing you today, and they're all for different situations. You may want a 4-blade 23, 24 pitch for rough water, heavy loads, and you may want a 3-blade 26, 27 pitch for sea level, calm waters with a foot of chop. Foot of chop is calm water to me. calm water because bass cats run like scalded dogs in choppy water. And that's a different prop for that as well. So one size does not fit all, and no one's boat runs the same speed in all conditions. I get that a lot, and I'm going to tell you that there should be a flag on that plate. Thank you very much for watching. If you have learned anything, one little tidbit that's going to make your boat perform a little bit better or increase your knowledge about boating performance, thank you. Please click below, and we'll see you next time on Mac McCullough Fishing. Thank you very much. See you in the water.